last 500 years, since the time of the Protestant Reformation, one of the most heated debates between Catholics and Protestants has been over the relationship between faith and works. Are we saved by faith alone, as the Protestants claim, with the doctrine sola fide? Or are we saved both by faith and works, as the Catholic Church teaches? And if so, how do faith and works go together in Catholic doctrine? In this Bible study, I try to take this old question, this old debate over faith and works, and look at it through fresh eyes, through a new perspective, by doing something that many Christians, both Protestants and Catholics, never do. I take you back to the Council of Trent, to the actual Catholic doctrine of justification and the relationship between faith and works. Many Catholics and Protestants don't even know that in the 1500s, the Church actually clarified exactly what she meant by being saved. She clarified exactly what she meant by saying that we were saved by grace, through faith, and works, and how all of those things go together. And I don't know about you, but growing up a Catholic, I was often not very clear about that in my mind. I knew that Paul taught we were saved by faith, and that James said that works were necessary for salvation, but I wasn't always quite sure, how do they go together? Can I earn my salvation? Is there a difference between the initial grace that I receive at baptism or at conversion and other works that I perform after I was baptized? So in this Bible study, what I want to try to do is bring clarity to a place where there's a lot of confusion, even amongst Catholics. And I'll try to do it by working carefully through the teachings of St. Paul himself. We're going to go back to Paul's letters, and we're going to show you that all of the passages that Protestants will often use to attack Catholic teaching actually support Catholic teaching when you read them in context. In particular, we're going to look at a new movement among many Protestant scholars called the New Perspective on Paul. This new perspective by Protestant scholars is actually very controversial because some Protestant scholars, after years of study of Paul, are starting to actually come back to the Catholic Church's position on what Paul meant when he talked about not being saved by works of the law, which, as we'll see, is not the exact same thing as good works. All of this will bring clarity to as we turn our attention to the question that the rich young man asked Jesus so many centuries ago. What must I do to be saved? Before we conclude, we'll also answer the question, what about once saved, always saved? Many Catholic Christians have been asked, if you died tonight, do you know you would go to heaven? Is this assurance of salvation that Protestants believe in a biblical teaching or not? We'll look at this topic as well as we turn to the question of justification, faith, works, and salvation, which frankly is one of the most important topics we could ever study, because the question, how am I saved, has to be answered by every single one of us. So, if you've ever been interested in the question of faith and works, then this Bible study, I promise, will give you new insight to that age-old debate over how a person is saved.